Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. As we embark on a great journey into the unknown every single day. We don't know where it's going. We don't know what's going to happen, but we push forward anyway. Bam, bam. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here Saturday morning. What a beautiful day it is to be alive. And let's jump on in. This is a quick Bitcoin update. We're not going to be here too long, everyone. We're going to do this down and dirty, fast and furious, just like Vin Diesel. Shout out to everybody here on the live. We appreciate you. We love you. And we hope you're having a wonderful morning, a wonderful day, no matter where you are in the world. You're with the Crypto Lifer. And I love you. My name's Samuel James Price, and my mom was good to me. My mom loved me. So I know how to love people. So I'm here to love you. So if you need love, if you're missing out on that love and you just want a little bit of love, why don't you come onto the channel, get a virtual hug, baby, and bring it on in, all right? Because love is the strongest frequency, and with love, I will accomplish all my goals, all my dreams, and I will revisit God at the right place at the right time. Shout out to everybody here. Appreciate you all. Let's break it down. Bitcoin and a bit of a falling wedge here. Well, I looked at it kind of like this was the rejection point. Resistance, resistance, resistance. We may have broken out. Could you include this in the wedge and call it a broadening falling wedge? There's a chance you could say it's wide and it didn't break out. There's a chance you could also align it somewhat with the wicks and say, yeah, I like this idea here that it did break out and that it's going somewhat sideways. But at the same time, it is what it is, right? So I'm going with this idea that we broke the trend, came back, popped it again, but we're having issues at the point of control. 26,600 is that key level that Bitcoin just has been playing now with for the day, right? We've gone out above it, below it, above it, hung out, below it, above it. We just keep hanging out around this area. So one thing we have to think about, that's bearish. When Bitcoin continuously, especially high Stokes, here's your resistance, clear as day at 26, right? 700. And then the Stokes revisit again to the overbought region and curve. And again, we're at that same area of being overbought. You see? And so because of that, you can't seem to get back above the zone. Once you lose this POC, you're going to drop likely back down to 26,300. That's the next area that we've been waiting, right? 26.6, 26.3. So we'll lose 26.6, which we are at 26.3, but we've been just dangling. We got a beautiful double bottom here that gave us some support, but we're just dwindling around, all right? At the end of the day, Bitcoin is in a symmetrical triangle. That is the pattern here that we're sitting in. This is a 50-50 pattern that can break up or down either way, all right? Shout out to anyone that traded with us last night. We had an amazing short on BLZ that we did live together, all right? And to be honest, Bitcoin to me is likely going to take a dump to the downside. Number one, we just got a red candle here. We just breached the trend line, and we lost the POC. This candle will close in 45 minutes. You could wait for it to close, but that high stochastic and lack of momentum on the MACD tells me that we're likely getting a drop to the downside. Measured move actually is a little lower. I believe could even bring us further down to about 26,481. But the measured move is about, right here. I'm more bearish than bullish because you can't get above key levels. I see this as an M pattern, right? A double top M that's going to break us to the downside. All right, this will be good for the BLZ short. Any short that you're in could likely play to the downside, 15-minute had time to dump, though, but we could still get more dumpage down here like so, and we could continue the dumpage. Low volume, so moves probably won't be sustainable, meaning I wouldn't be surprised if this comes up, wicks, and then just comes right back up. The key is now you're looking for the bearish retest. See, you never have to chase the initial pump because you want to see if there's a retest. Right here, that was a breakout, break back in. What if it breaks back inside the pattern and it becomes a bear trap? These are possibilities. So, I like this right here. Okay, so we want to see this, try to get back inside the pattern on a small time frame and not be able to get back in or lose an even deeper zone. So you want to see the 1 minute drop further, then try to break this key level because this will be the new support, resistance support on a small time frame. Or you want to see this key resistance here and the drop down. Somewhere between the 1 and the 5, sometimes even the 7 can give you a good retest. But so far, that is a strong candle to the downside. This is a bit of an M pattern. You see that? This M pattern, to me, double top, breaks to the downside. Measured move takes you to 26,541, right? And there you go. Look at the dump as it occurs right there to the downside. So Bitcoin, and what did I just say on the live stream? A move is coming. And I waited and timed out the liquidity because I know when the liquidity enters the market, and I have these little indicators that tell. No, I'm just joking. I called up key bankers and they told me when they were going to pull it, and I waited exactly till that to join the live stream. Pretty crazy, right? But how come I show up in the market moves? You tell me how. I timed them out with stochastics. I waited till 10:16. Anyway. Pretty interesting that you get a market move whenever you're killing with the lifer. You think it's pretty weird? So crazy. There's an insane dump. Can we recover? That's not an insane dump. Really? Time traveler, man. Shout out to After Hours Investing. I woke up 2 hours ago to check the market. See, if I was a time traveler, I would make myself drink a serum or I would forget that I was a time traveler because I knew I would just spill the beans. So even if I was, I wouldn't know I was. You get it? But then how would you remember what to do, though? I would remember key things and write them down in a notebook and tell myself that I can't know why. This is a movie I'm working on. It's amazing. It's got such a plot. But honestly, that movie with, Ethan Hawke? That will blow your mind. So look, possible bear trap. It brought us back inside, right? Wasn't sustainable. You don't chase these moves. You wait for the retest. You wait for a bear flag. You wait for a continuation pattern. I wouldn't be surprised now if this bounced right back to the upside here. And we just get some wacky price action. Where do I see us later on today when I show up tonight at 8 p.m. for Saturday night, and the Bitcoin Saturday Night Show, which I do every Saturday at 8 p.m. without fail. You know how many dinner parties I've missed? You know how many times my family's like, but I still do that show. I've dedicated my life to this channel, and I decided, hey, everything else, it's my family, my wife, my kids, and the channel, and my family knows that the channel is important because it's daddy's life. So the whole family respects the channel, from my wife to my kids. Everybody respects the channel. Something going on today with the lighting's like not the same. It's weird. I can't explain what's going on. Oh, that's what it is. That light was hitting me too hard. There we go. Isn't that crazy? Just this light on me. Everything's better now. Looked like I was like glowing. It was pretty weird. Anyway, that looks way better, and it's coming back a little bit. I want to keep that little glow there. What do we want to do this? There we go. Anyway, we thank your family for sharing you with us. I appreciate that. Can we see quant? People want quant, huh? I woke up 2 hours to check the market. Looked like a move from last night. Hey, Sam, could you dedicate a live or video about altcoins that are going to be strong in the upcoming bull run? Thank you. I mean, I do it every day. Just watch, man. Just watch what we talk about, watch what we do, and we go over that all the time. You'd be like, what am I buying? I may not buy stuff on the live stream, but yes, I'll do a more dedicated video so you can sit and learn. It's not even about what I'm buying. It's more about what you want to buy with the same similar ideals. Like, are you looking for market cap? Are you researching who's behind the project? Like, I really like GFAL because the dude obviously already did really well with EA's Electronic Arts, so I know that he can do well. I like to buy people that have shown me that I have a track record, and when I just said buy people, I don't mean to be rude, but I mean, I like to buy, when I invest in a project, right? I'm not buying a person. I hope that sounds horrible. What I mean is, though, but I'm buying the person's ideals. That's what I mean. I'm buying their vision. I'm buying their ability to be successful. I'm buying into that idea. I'm buying into the idea that person has some staying power, and they've done it before too. I'm looking for a track record, right? Crazy here. Look, I mean, shoulder, head. Could we make a right shoulder and get on out of this? I'm open-minded. I'm open-minded. Losing a POC usually means you're going to drop further down. That's what it is. We've lost this numerous times, though, and still have somehow gotten propped up. We've even bounced off 26,530, so we will see. Bitcoin stays in this tight range. It's very boring. More likely a break to the downside based off the stochastics RSI on the 1 hour time frame. But the 15-minute now wanting to give us a bounce. Look at the 15-minute getting a nice bounce back on up. And don't be confused drawing patterns. They will change depending on the time frame you're on. It just is what it is. All right. Look, it's not an inverted here because it's lower, but it's so strange, right? So, like, I really wouldn't. The market's kind of tight for scalping. Like, this says you can scalp the 15-minute back to the upside, but a lot of the moves have just been lackluster. We are getting so tight that soon, I mean, that doesn't take too long. Hit shift, click on the screen. All right. What's going on? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Hit shift, click on the screen. Drag this over, and it will tell you. So, like, look, 3 hours from now, like, Bitcoin's got to give us a decision soon. In 3 hours. Like, we're going to know by 1 or 2 o'clock. I mean, unless it can do this. I've seen it do that. Where do I see us tonight? I believe we pop up. We hit a resistance here. The 1 hour gets too extended on an M pattern. We tap the 15-200 SMA for rejection, and a short ensues. I believe when I show up tonight, and it is what I believe, because you're not, and again, no, this is for fun, all right? You don't trade on what you believe. You trade on what the charts. The charts convey to me. I'll have to see, 5 hours from now what happens, and then I reconvene. But just for fun, an M pattern, and possibly we're bearishly retesting this area, or we're somewhere around the same 26.55, like really nothing happened, but we're possibly beginning to make that drop, and we're in some type of little flag. It is going to be in 10 hours from now. So I'll hold shift again and just kind of see. And so I go live about here, right? Yeah. So, I mean, it's highly unlikely we go sideways that long because look, we're getting tight. A move is coming. That's why patterns are great. People that say, oh, I don't like to trade patterns. You don't need patterns. You don't even have to trade patterns like, because when people say that, they say, oh, this is the guy that like, you get in here and you risk 3-to-1 ratios and all that. But forget all that. Throw all that out the window. Like, you don't have to do all that. The idea is the pattern tells you when a move is coming. When a pattern gets tight, it's going to have to make a decision. That's when you know something is brewing, right? Here, you knew you up and down, but now we know. Like, we can clearly see what's called consolidation, tightness. This is consolidation. It's consolidating, right? So, only time will tell. Delete all these funny little wacky lines. Well, we have a major resistance double top for Bitcoin right here. 1, 2, at 26,584, 26,600. And that was a key area of resistance. So I do expect to bounce now on the 15. Probably gets rejected by this 200. Makes another M. All right. And look, we're also rejecting patterns too. Like, look, shoulder, head, right shoulder. But it did not make a dump. So I see us tonight when I show up at 8 p.m. somewhere around here in this circle. Actually, what's going to be there? So somewhere around here in this circle. Actually, let me do it correct. Yeah, right around there. And maybe we're making a move to the, we're making maybe we make some type of giant double bottom here. You see that? And we get our bigger move. The bigger time frames don't look amazing to me. All right. But I'm not going to spend too much time. I just want to give you the short-term perspective and what to watch out for. So if Bitcoin loses 25,550 and you start a bearish retest on the 1 or the 5, you're likely dropping further down to 25 to 26,526 and then all the way back down to about 26,484. All right. So $1,000 drop likely coming if you lose this level and bearishly retest it. If you break out of this point of control and you get back above and you bullishly retest 26.5, the chance you're going up to at least to 26.6 and then, into this 27, really 27,000, but 26.8 is going to, but you can start to get a move to the upside, right? I don't want to once we get there, I can get crazy and we can analyze levels that matter, 26.6, 26.650, But so you're looking boom for a long here or a short here, really. And we're going to find out, as we said, in about probably 3 to 5 hours at the very most. Something is brewing for BTC. So would I long or short? I would wait for confirmation for either I'm personally in a bigger short, in a short now. So on some alts. So I'd like Bitcoin to drop because it would help the shorts, but only time will tell. Okay. Can you explain the blue and yellow bars on the screen? These are the VRVP. What they do is they give you the volume profile visible range, the VPVR. I call it the VRVP because that's just what it is. When I go here and I type in VR, the visible range volume profile. And what the visible range volume profile does is it tells you where the volume is. Like a lot of people, and how a great way to look at it is you're a kid. Think about you're a kid and you're trick-or-treating and the houses with the most candy where the most people go and everybody knows they're the best. They are what's called a point of control, right? And then there's streets where there's like no lights on and there's just really no point. And say this had a big, that would be another house to stop at. So where these put out and push out hard, it's where the most buying and selling occurs. I mean, blue being selling, yellow being buying, right? And to me, it's not as important as the ratio as it is just the amount. I want to see where the most buying and selling occurs. Now, when I'm using this, when you put it on, it's going to be at 24 in chubby. I suggest that you go into the settings and just slap a 0 on the end of the 24. And then you'll see your style. value area up. So people buying is blue, value area down, people selling is yellow. All right. You can do the value area highs and lows. And you can do the, the point of control. Developing point of control if you want to, which kind of, I guess, starts to show you where things are starting to move. Developing value areas, those are pretty cool too. So there's ways to use this to your advantage. Pretty awesome. Okay. I use the POC. Another way to use this indicator, if you want, is to go here on the left side. Come all the way down and grab the fixed ranged volume profile. And then pick the area, like how much do you want? I want to take, you go sideways and take how much of the price action you want. So like if I want from this one to this one, I'll start here and I'll drag it all the way to there, right? And it'll stop when price action stops. And then it'll read, and it's going to be pretty much the same reading, you see? The thing about this one is it'll move when I give it more data on the screen. This one will just give you sections that you want to look at. But we can see that the value area low for Bitcoin is somewhere at 25.5, and the value area high for Bitcoin is somewhere at 26.5. All right, in this section that we're in now, until we get a break out of it. So if we do come down and visit this low here at 26,480, it's going to be a value area low, which means it's a low. It's a basically you're buying Bitcoin on a discount as opposed to a premium. All right, you want to be getting into the discount area when you're buying into an asset, right? So anyway, so I do see more downside than upside for Bitcoin based on the stochastics on the 1 hour time frame. However, the confirmation of the retest and the falling out of the pattern will be a decision. A lot of times I do not trade on a Saturday, specifically when I feel the volume is as low as it is. Like you can just feel it. It feels a little drab today. There's something about, even yesterday, there's something about a drip drab going on. So heed your feelings. You can feel it, right? And I know you're not supposed to trade on feelings, but you can get a sense of market sentiment, right? Just by kind of being around the market on a daily basis, and you can get a bit of an idea of what's happening. So just, with that being said, there's, you can smell the coffee, you know what I mean? That, or the roses, whatever you want to say. Probably messing up the saying, but you can smell the, you can see the writing on the wall is really what I'm trying to say. Anyway, if Bitcoin can get back above the 200 SMA here in the 15-minute, that's hope for a power move. So if this comes off, you bullishly retest, boom, you get above this 200 SMA, yes. But if this comes close, usually when these come close and the 200 is topping, so I'll tell you what. I've seen this many times in my life. Here's another reason why I believe we're going to go to the downside. And I'll show you, I'll find a downtrend. I just had an epiphany of a way to teach you. And just, it's things that I just know to be true, mainly, So when, here it comes, it happens twice here, right? In an uptrend, what will happen is the moving averages will get really far apart. It'll pull the 200 away. You'll pump, and eventually you'll get above the 200 SMA, and then you'll start a trend, right? But when you're in a slow downtrend where the 200 comes to meet you, so like if you're doing this, price action's kind of like this, okay? And the 200's here, and you're supposed to pump up to it, but you don't. Instead, you kind of just keep doing the slow downtrend, and the 200 starts to come down. And when they all come and the 200 comes to meet, boom, that's usually a nasty drop to the downside. You should at one point had pumped up to the 200 and got above it and crossed it, and that would have been your trend, right? But because, so we're beginning to see that happening now. And you can see that on bigger time frames too. I want to see if I can just right there see price action. Let's see. You got to find the nasty downtrend for Bitcoin. Yeah. On like a big time frame, I can show this to you too. So like here's the 4 hour, it would have worked. Okay. So here's a good point. And bear with me. I'm about to show you something if you have the patience to stick with me. So here it is again, like price action gets really flat here. Okay. You see that? And the 200 just comes down to suppress. Same thing here. Flat, 200 comes down to suppress. You never got, see, what should have happened is when you got the yoke out here, and this is how you knew the trend was, you should have gotten above the 200. When you made that rejection there, and that was, you know what I mean? So now your next meeting point becomes the hard tail. And that's what's about to look, that's looking very similar right now in the 1 hour. And I can't guarantee anything, and I'm not a psychic, and I'm not a time traveler. But if I were, I wouldn't tell you. So what does that mean? I don't know. It's up to you to decide. Anyway, the idea behind this is the 200 on the 15-minute. And we just had a death cross on the daily, and you're about to get another cross, which is the 80 crossing the 200. That's a secondary death cross. And everybody, once you close candles, 2 or 3, if you get 2 or 3 more candles on the 1 hour below this point of control, you're also getting confirmation. Usually you don't get it. It falls faster than you get a chance, but because, see how this 200 is coming down to meet price action, and we never made the move above it here or here, it's very likely that that's going to cause a drop to the downside as well. So I remain short. And honestly, look, resistance. Like, you're shorting resistance. Bitcoin couldn't get back above 26.6. So, if you get stopped out at 27.7 or something happens over here, so be it. Then the retest can come and you can take the trade. You lose less. So the smart idea is to remain short right now. The insurance short, which I haven't said in a while, with the stop loss right here, entry right here, take it down to the downside, And yes, you could become one of the, one of the squeezed. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP and see. I almost am sure BOOKMAP is going to be light and slow with not a lot of data on it, because you can feel the volume of the day, and that's what's happening, right? And that's why we're here every day, to kind of sense out these things together, to feel out these general inquiries about the market together. So this does suggest that we go lower. If we had to place a bet on it, and how many times we've used this, there's more liquidity down to 26,000. But it's not huge. It's not a huge red bar. It's not a driver of drive, but there still is more liquidity further to the downside. All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. I truly believe a short is in order here. It's the more than likely thing that's going to happen, but wait for confirmation of the retest. That is this, if the risky person gets in now because they like the risk. But I don't know what your risk is, and I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. And, the safer, less risky person waits for confirmation. They want to see this turn into the M. That could be a first place to add a small amount. Then if this comes in retest, then you add the whole lot and try and take the trade, right? You go fishing first, and then you see how. So that's what's likely going to happen. And again, if you break the resistance, then that story changes, and that's all X'd out. So the confirmation is the easy one. I like to start the short with like a small amount of money. That way I can't lose a lot if it goes wrong, and I can always flip. If it does continue, I can add to it, and the trade can go in my favor, right? So I'll leave you with this idea. I am more short than bull. I'm more bear than bull today, and I'm neither. I just kind of go over it. And it took me, how long did it take us? This took me a while to come up with my final assessment. But, that's how I work as an analyst. It takes me time. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then I hope you're doing the right thing. And I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. This is your fast, down and dirty Bitcoin update with a little more than I normally was going to give. But I love you, and I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. God bless you all. Thank you so much for the love. Comment, like, and subscribe. And remember, crypto is life.